Peace, family. This is Dr. Kia Pruitt. It is, what is it? February the 24th, 2022, and it's about 3:50 p.m. And I'm just coming from the school picking up the grandbaby. But I thought I'd come on because I have some friends that have asked me what I think about that country that's spelled Ukraine. I have to be careful what I say because I'll get flagged. And they were asking me, what do I think about what's going on there? Would the bear, RUSSIA, really invade the country that starts with the U? And here are my thoughts. I just wanted to share it with you. I was told a long time ago by those that mentored me, and particularly I have one mentor who was involved in a farmer's claims that led to Nasara. And I have other friends who were involved in taking the United States Incorporated to court when they went with the Empress of the Washita people, Empress Verdiachi Gaston El Bey, and they took the United States Corporation to court because they said that they had stolen the land from the Washita and indigenous peoples here that are erroneously classified as Black Americans or African Americans. Well, as you all know on my channel, that most of us that are here are actually indigenous or aboriginal peoples from here. Well, some of the people who were actually at court with the Washita Empress mentored me, as well as a gentleman who was involved in the farmers' claims. And I think I've also told you that I was contacted by a group of beings who were non-terrestrial, extraterrestrial beings who had told me about the war that was going on against the deep state. And they had told me that there were other beings here to help us fight that war. They also told me to keep my vibrations high and to encourage as many people as possible to keep their vibrations high and to know that this war was being fought on our behalf to liberate humanity, and that they would use this energy to help us. So it's important for you all to know that some of the things that I tell you about is because I've been trained, so to speak, or I've been given messages. And one of the things I've understood or overstood or understood is that 209 countries agreed to this. So what they did was establish the white hats of the military from all over the world, the Nasara White Knights as well. And these are professionals, military, prelates, governmental agencies or governmental professionals or entities, people that worked at your banks and worked in different segments of society who were tired of the United States Incorporated and who wanted to dismantle them in their power, because as you know, our country was usurped by a group of bloodline people who are either inbred with the reptilians and draconians and archons and other extraterrestrials who are nefarious, who did not have our best interest at heart, or they were actually those entities who were cloaking as human that had overtaken our country and created a corporation for the United States of America. A corporation. And that entity is registered as a nonprofit religious organization in Delaware. It is bankrupt, according to my research, and the last time that information was, or that incorporated entity was registered, was in 1989. So it is actually not operating lawfully or legally, but they have continued on to control the planet. And if you all follow my videos, about 2 or 3 videos ago, I talked about motu proprio, which was the Pope making a proclamation or announcement that they had to cease operating. He said that all courts were to cease and desist, all police officers, all CEOs of banks and the 3-letter corporations that are tied to the USA Inc. had to cease and desist. And this was in 2014. He made this proclamation, but of course they didn't listen, and people continued on as if the United States Incorporated was still an operating entity that did not file for bankruptcy and did not become defunct. Well, anyway, what we know is that there were a group of good beings, of benevolent extraterrestrials and human beings who were determined to take down the deep state and the incorporation of the United States, because this whole whole entity, the U.S. Inc., the deep state, is worldwide, and they created a Federal Reserve banking system to enslave people, and they created laws, not really laws, because a law is something that's constitutional, but they created statutes and codes and policies, which is why you have policy enforcers or police officers to enforce their policies. They created those to enslave us. So when the Pope made that declaration that they were to cease and desist, he did that. He was able to do that because he actually owned that corporation. He and the Queen Bee, which we know now is off planet, but the two of them own these entities. 209 countries had decided to take them down. 209 countries agreed to do this, as well as to return to the gold and silver and precious metal standard. So you have a military that is fighting on behalf of we the people. And so what you see going on now in that country, that UKRAINE, is actually the RUSSIA, the benevolent faction, and the military, as well as the Nasara White Knights and the White Hats, going into those countries, if they really do go in there, and cleaning out the deep state. That's one line of thinking. The other line of thinking is that what I've always been told by my mentors is actually that there will be no more wars. And this agreement was done years ago. But what we would see, according to my intel and my training, was a false flag event or a black swan event. Now, a black swan event is an event that occurs that's a rare event, or something that is like really serious and destructive, that maybe you didn't see coming. That's what I mean by rare. Something you didn't prepare for, you didn't see coming, that will occur to crash the market. So we were told this would happen. That's why I've been telling people stock up on food and waters and water and supplies and supplies and things like that, because people panic when you have a false flag event or a black swan event. So we were told that something would happen to crash the market. So pay attention, because if you notice, the markets are actually plummeting, the stock market. And the reason for that is because when people understand that the USD is declining in value, and when people panic because they think there's an impending war, they don't know what's going on in society, they will take their money out of the markets, out of the stock markets. They will take out their 401ks, their 403bs, their stocks, and their money in these coins that we have now, that are not necessarily precious metals. Y'all know what I'm saying, like the ones that start with B, at cryptos. They will take it out of there, and they will rush to put their money in a safe haven account, something that keeps its value, maintains its value, like precious metals, silver, gold, palladium, platinum, things like that, because they're uncertain what's going on in the world. But they know that God's money is sure. Precious metals, those things are sure, because whereas the stocks can become volatile and plummet, precious metals maintain their value. They keep their value, or they increase in value. And this is why you see gold going up $17. So gold is up by $17 the last time I saw it a couple hours ago, which is pretty good. So it's over $1,900, and just a month or two ago it was in a $1,700 range. So gold is heading towards $2,000 an ounce. Now, if you've been following the intel and you've been following gold bugs and silver bugs, you know that they are estimating that gold will go up to between $10,000 and $20,000 an ounce. Now, although I'm not a financial advisor, I've been following the people who understand what it would take in the amount of gold to eliminate all of the debt worldwide. And they understand that we have enough gold that was found in the Grand Canyon, and gold that was found in the Vatican and different places, and with the Queen Bee, gold that each country actually had repatriated back to themselves under number 45. So what they're saying is gold could go up to $10,000 to $20,000 an ounce. Now it's headed towards $2,000 an ounce, and it's one of the assets that is increasing while the stock market is decreasing, because people are taking their money out of the markets and rushing into gold, a safe haven where they know that they might have, like, say you might have $10,000 in savings or more. It's decreasing in value, but if you put it in gold, it's going to increase. So already it's increased by $17 within a matter of a day or two. Silver actually has only increased by 78 cents. But understand that silver is gold's little sister, and silver will do whatever gold does. Okay, now gold correlates to man or males or male energy or the sun. Silver correlates to the woman or female energy or the moon. So what happens is they continue to suppress the silver just like they have historically suppressed the woman. Okay, but again, silver correlates to a woman or to the moon, and some people say silver is mined on the moon, and others say gold is mined on the sun. Gold correlates to men, which is why gold has been valued way more than silver throughout time. However, silver, if you follow the people who are really into studying astrology and astronomy and the stars and all that, and people who read cards, they will tell you silver is actually what's going to be used to liberate humanity, because silver correlates to the woman, and all they are trying very hard to continue to suppress silver as they have suppressed the woman throughout time. They will not be able to suppress silver for two reasons. Because one, if you don't have a balance on the planet between males and female, you will have roughshod, you will have war, because men are created for war, to protect, to fight, to battle. But women bring love and beauty and softness and joy and grace. You have to have both to balance the planet, to balance humanity, to balance the world and society, to balance everything. So silver is what's going to be used to liberate humanity along with gold. So now let me get back to what's going on. Silver is being suppressed because they don't want you to know that it's just as valuable. So they're going to keep it suppressed. They're going to keep the price low and make you think it's not worth anything, while they amass a lot of it to themselves, and they're going to keep upping gold. But if I were you, I would strongly consider both, or at least silver, because right now it's only $25 an ounce. That's if you don't account for taxes and the premium, which is what they put on top of the spot price. The spot price is about $25 an ounce, but the premium is the cost that it takes to do business with the dealers. So they'll add a couple dollars on the premium for gold and silver and all precious metals, and then taxes according to your state. They're suppressing the price of silver. They're keeping it low so that you don't know how valuable it is. Now, silver and gold are both valuable because historically they've always been used as money. They call silver and gold God's money. Precious metals, God's money, because historically silver and gold has always been used as real money. And according to the Constitution for the United States of America, money is defined as an ounce of gold or ounce of silver. So these paper dollars, they're not real. They're not backed by anything. We were taken off the silver and gold standard a long time ago. So that is not lawful money according to the Constitution. Silver and gold are. So it's God's money. Now, get this. What they're going to do is keep the price of silver low to not let you know that silver is used for everything. It's more rare than gold. It's used for more things than gold. Gold is used for money and jewelry. Silver is used for money, for jewelry, for solar panels, for industrial purposes, for catalytic converters, for engines. Silver is used for cell phones. It's used for utilities or appliances. It's used for refrigerators and stoves and microwave ovens. It's used for almost everything. Everything you can think of, silver is used for. Now, the electric cars, all of the new technology coming out, computers, all use silver, and it's mined at a lower rate than gold. Silver is actually a byproduct of your other precious metals, but it's more precious because we use it for more things. Okay, so what I'm trying to tell you is, imagine if Nikola Tesla right now said, I need all the silver that you have so that I can make electric cars, or so that we can create solar panels, or that so we can release this technology or the med beds or whatever, then we don't have enough silver that's mine. Then that's going to jack the price of value of silver up. And if you have it in your possession, you will be wealthy. Now, if you download the US debt clock and you put it on your phone, you will see that the real value of silver right now is probably between $4,000 and $5,000 an ounce. Gold, I think the last time I checked, was between 10 and 20. I can't remember, $1,000 an ounce. But at the end of every empire, what they do is they rack up the debt, they spend up as much money as they can, they crash the economy, and they return to silver and gold. And at the end of every empire, in the beginning of resurrection of a new empire, silver and gold is always 3-to-1. Three ounces of silver will buy 1 ounce of gold, whereas right now it's like 17 ounces of silver will buy 1 ounce of gold. But the balance is going to become more equal. And some people, like if you follow Bix Weir on roadtoruder.com or on his YouTube channel Road to Ruder, he will tell you that the way we headed, silver might even become 1-to-1 to gold. So what I'm telling you is they're going to keep suppressing the price of silver so that you don't know how valuable it is. I'm encouraging you today to consider everything that I'm telling you and listen to all the economists or any of the people that you follow and ask your higher self what you should do. Because what we're seeing right now is the resurrection of the divine feminine. And what that means is all the feminine energies that have left the planet and that have been suppressed are now coming back. We're returning the divine feminine entities, the love, the beauty, the softness, the grace of the woman and of the entity who created human beings is returning. And you can't suppress her any longer. That's why underground bunkers are being destroyed and our children are being rescued. Our women are being rescued. Our countries are being restored. And when all this is over, our sovereignty will be restored, our peace, our freedom, no more planetary wars. All our peace treaties will be honored. Our real money, silver and gold, will be restored, and love and beauty will be restored. Also, our wealth will be restored, and everybody will be able to trade 1-to-1. All world countries will be able to trade 1-to-1 to each other, and they will all be revalued based on silver and gold. Because right now the standard is the USD, but that's declining in value, and people are saying, I don't want to trade in the USD anymore. I want to use what? Silver and gold. If you Google how many states right now have made gold and silver legal tender, you will see it's like 12 or 13 states, maybe even more by now. And if you remember, years ago, Texas demanded that they have their gold repatriated back to them from the U.S. Inc. And that's when the U.S. Inc. used their heart machines to send hurricanes to Texas. It's like 2 or 3 years ago. So keep in mind that the war is ending. That if you hear any rumors of war, the real thing that's going on is that we're going into these countries, into these places, into the underground, and we are cleaning them out. We're rescuing people. We are taking down the deep state, and we're doing those things, and they don't want you to know that. So what they'll tell you is that we're going to war to cause destruction, and they'll make it seem like it's something you should panic about. But that's why I keep saying, keep your vibrations high and stay positive. Call those things that are not as though they are, because your eyes can be deceiving, your ears can be deceiving if you're listening to mainstream media, because you have to know that those are CIA entities that were created to deceive the people. So, I said I was talking to you about the resurrection of the divine feminine. If you understand the story about Enki, Enlil, and Nimna, you know that these are extraterrestrial entities that came to Earth to create human beings because they needed some entities to mine gold for them to fix the planet, the atmosphere of their planet, the planet Nibiru. Was it the planet Nibiru? Yes, the planet Nibiru. And so these were Anunnaki beings, if you read the Sumerian text and you follow that, who came to Earth. They took the entities that were here, and put it with their DNA, their extraterrestrial DNA, and they created beings to help mine the gold for them. Nimna was the female scientist who was the master scientist behind this experiment. Now, her brothers Enki and Enlil are often talked about, even in contemporary texts, but Nimna is not. She is not respected. She is not talked about. But her womb was used to create and to incubate modern day human beings, allegedly, according to the Sumerian text. And so what happened was one of her brothers, I think it was Enlil, created religion because he wanted to be worshiped. And he is now what we call Yahweh. He created religion, if you follow Sumerian text, to be worshiped, and also something, to be reverenced as a god, because, if you believe that a creator is a god and he allegedly created us, he is a god. But also to cause confusion, my understanding is Enki did not want to go along with Enlil's plan. They had a meeting with the council, the Federation of Worlds, or the Federation of Light, some call them, but it's the Galactic Federation of Worlds. And according to my studies or my limited reading, the Federation of Worlds said, okay, well, we will leave the beings down there and help them to ascend. And they got upset with Enlil for leaving, actually creating religion and doing things to cause confusion between us. He also taught us war. They taught us some beautiful things as well, like culture and how to build and stuff, and about language. But my understanding is they also taught us some things that the council was not in agreement with. In fact, I don't believe they even had the permission of the council to create human beings down here. So the council was upset about that. The Galactic Federation of Worlds, they were upset about that, but they allowed us to be here, and they believed we were going to evolve. But my understanding is that Enlil did not like us evolving, and that's where you get the whole Tower of Babylon. We were uniting, trying to evolve. He confounded us and confused us by giving us foreign languages so that we couldn't commune. And then you got stories of the flood. They did everything. He did everything. For some reason, he didn't want us to become evolved like him, if you follow Sumerian texts. And then there were other entities that came here who saw us down here struggling, trying to evolve into our higher selves, because we are gods, like the beings that from which we came, who created us. So you have a divine consciousness, a creator, who they call Krexlin, who many entities allegedly call Krexlin. That's the divine consciousness, the supreme consciousness, the supreme being, who have other gods that reign on many, many planets. And so some of them, draconians, reptilians, and otherwise, and archons, saw us here struggling, and they came here and they started eating us and doing nefarious things to us, experimenting on us. If you look at the Truman Show, it was like a big game to them. Like, like they didn't care about us. And this is just according to the text that I've read. But what happened was, the beings that created us, Nimna has returned, and some of the other benevolent or good factions of the Council of Light, or the Galactic Federation of Worlds, this divine council of galactic beings all over from different planets, decided to come back and rescue us. And that's why they are here now. And they came here specifically at this time. And some of us, our future representations of who we are, our future selves, have come back to liberate the planet. So this is really exciting. This may be some old news for some of you, but some of you might be something that's, different or weird or new. I would encourage you to ask your higher self, or your supreme being, or your creator, if this is true, if it resonates with you. But we've all decided to be here at this time to liberate ourselves and our generations, so that we can ascend to our God selves and become a part of the council, because we had become so divisive, so angry, so bitter, so murderous, so violent, that our vibrations were low, and it was affecting the universe, the multiverse, and the other worlds. So they had to come back to help us to evolve to our highest selves, so that we can join the galactic Council of Beings, because I think the Galactic Council of Worlds, I'm sorry, the Federation of Worlds, or the Federation of Light, however you see it, the Galactic Federation of Light, Galactic Federation of Worlds, is comprised of many different entities and galaxies, but we were one of the ones who was solo vibrational, that we weren't allowed a part of the council. So I'm gonna wrap up. I've been here up 25 minutes. I just want to encourage you to keep your vibrations high. Turn off the news if you have to, so that you can, keep your vibrations high. Consider eating some monatomic gold, some colloidal silver, colloidal gold, to keep your vibrations high. Drink lots of water. Eat raw fruits and vegetables, because they feed your cells. If you're into fasting, do that, because it causes your old cells to die and your new cells to replenish. And also get plenty of sun. Walk by the beach. Go out in nature. Whatever it is you enjoy doing, do it as much as you can, and love. Because if you don't learn to love each other, you won't learn to love the Galactic Federation of Light that have come back, and the galactic beings that are here. They will reveal themselves to us. Some of them are your angels or your mentors. They will walk with you and talk with you and help you through this evolution that we're going through. And they will take us through a chamber, a light chamber, and then our bodies will change and become crystalline. Remember, if you read the Bible, it talks about being translated in a moment of a twinkling of an eye. Your body will change. It will be translated. That's talking about us going through a light chamber where our bodies will literally change, and we will become ageless. The precursor to that is the med beds that we will go through, that will cure our anything ailment in our body on site, and will also allow us to reverse and age and become our highest selves. So these are just things I wanted to bring to you. Stay encouraged. There's not going to be any war that's going to take out anybody. This is just all a world stage. These people enjoy playing with your minds and your energy. Keep your energy intact. You take control of your energy, because they feed off, they eat that loosh, that energy that emanates from you when you're sad, angry, and worried. So stay encouraged. Put some silver around you, on your body. Sleep with it. It will raise your vibrations, and even gold. And keep all the things that I said in mind as you move forward. I love you. I'm Dr. Kia Pruitt. I'm signing off. Stay encouraged. Peace, family. We got this. We won. And the reason a lot of this is coming out at 2/22/22, the taking out of the bee, the queen bee, and us being elevated to a different state, is because it's when Pluto has returned to the United States. Okay, and that only occurs once in every 248 years. So we're manifesting things right now at a very high vibrational time. And the last time it occurred was in 1776 at the so-called founding of the United States of America. And also, I think it was sometime, I don't know how many years ago, to the exact date, I can't remember, of 2/22 is when JFK Jr. allegedly died, but he never died. He is working with the military and the white hats to take down the deep state, and to continue on the legacy of his father, who tried to do the same. I love you. Peace, family. Be encouraged. We got this. We're going to win. Okay? So I just wanted to get that information out to you. Got to run to the grandbabies and feed them dinner. I love you. Take care.